Welcome to Sportpen.
Hey there.
The 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. That just sounds, well, iconic, doesn't it?
It really does. It feels like one of those sports legends, you know?
Yeah, passed down. It wasn't just another game.
No, not at all. It was this perfect storm almost. A unique mix of circumstances, unforgettable moments. Yeah. It really changed things.
Okay, so let's dig in past the usual highlights. What really made LA 84 legendary?
Right.
We're talking about those key moments, the sheer determination you could almost feel.
The grit.
And those performances that just rewrote the rules. Our mission here is to kind of trace what defines that greatness in sports.
And how these moments actually shift the whole story of sport itself.
Exactly. And we've got quite a bit to unpack.
Oh, yeah. Geopolitics, finance, tech leaps.
And the athletes, of course,
No.
pushing boundaries.
Definitely. So where do we start? The boycott seems like the obvious place.
Yeah, let's jump straight into that because it really shaped the games before they even started. Not everyone showed up in LA.
Not by a long shot. The Soviet Union led a pretty big boycott.
Right.
And a bunch of communist and socialist-leaning countries went with them. Officially, they cited safety concerns.
Safety.
And this feeling of, anti-Soviet sentiment in the U.S.
You always feel there's more to it, though, don't you? Like that CIA memo.
Oh, yeah. That suggested some Eastern Bloc countries kind of joined in just to show loyalty.
On an issue that wasn't maybe their biggest fight.
Exactly. Like Hungary, apparently they even thought about sending a small team. It wasn't their main battleground with the Soviets.
Interesting. And even within the bloc, it wasn't a unified front, was it? The way Poland and Hungary handled it differed.
Totally different. Poland, for instance, seemed to use their Olympic Committee vote as a sort of buffer.
A buffer? How so?
Well, to maybe shield the ruling party from direct flack for the decision. It's a fascinating look at how sports and politics get tangled up.
And we should remember, not every communist or socialist-aligned nation boycotted.
Good point. 15 actually came, including 9 from Africa.
So much for a totally unified front, then.
Right. It shows they all had their own priorities, their own decisions to make. Maybe the Olympics were just too big a draw to miss for some.
Now, this wasn't the first big boycott. The U.S. skipped Moscow in 1980. Did that feed into this?
Oh, absolutely. It's often seen as a major factor, kind of a tit-for-tat situation.
Like payback.
Possibly. A sense of evening the score, perhaps.
And the Soviets publicly said the U.S. couldn't guarantee safety. Was there any real substance to that? Or just politics?
Well, it's probably a mix. There were anti-Soviet protests in the U.S. Groups like the Ban the Soviets Coalition were making noise.
Okay.
And that incident with the Soviet mathematician detained at Dulles Airport, that certainly didn't help things.
Right, that would add fuel to the fire. And then those stories about forged KKK letters sent to boycotting nations. Wild stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like something from a spy novel. True or not, it definitely added to the tense atmosphere.
And the boycotting countries held their own games.
They did. The Friendship 84 Games. A sort of alternative Olympics.
Wow. But one country really stood out by going against the grain. Romania.
Romania's participation was bold. The only Eastern Bloc nation there.
Must have ruffled some feathers in Moscow.
You'd imagine so. And their leader, Ceausescu, apparently got a lot of praise for it. It was a clear statement.
And for the athletes who missed out, some countries tried to compensate them.
Yeah, Hungary, for example, apparently gave some financial support. Small comfort, maybe, but it acknowledged the disappointment.
A huge disappointment, no doubt. Okay, so boycott aside, the games happened, and financially they completely flipped the script.
They really did. And LA, being the only bidder, gave them massive leverage with the IOC.
The only bidder. Wow, so they could pretty much call the shots.
To a large extent, yes.
Yeah.
Especially on the money side, they rewrote the financial playbook for the Olympics.
Because these games made a huge profit, right? Something like, what, $230 million?
Yeah, massive surplus, unheard of at the time, especially after Montreal 76 nearly bankrupted the city.
So how did they pull it off?
Well, a key part was limiting corporate sponsors. Only 30.
Just 30.
Yep. Made those spots exclusive and way more valuable. Companies like Coca-Cola, IBM, Anheuser-Busch paid top dollar.
Smart. Less clutter, more cash. Very different from today's games.
Totally. And they used corporate money for venues, too. Velodrome, the swim stadium.
Who funded those?
7-Eleven and McDonald's, respectively. It was a clever way to spread the cost.
And getting those TV broadcast deals sorted early was key, too.
Absolutely crucial. Guaranteed income allowed them to plan with confidence.
So this wasn't just a one-time success. It actually made hosting the Olympics look attractive again.
It did. It showed you could host without going broke. And that surplus wasn't just numbers on a page.
Right, the LA84 Foundation.
Exactly. Using the profit to fund youth sports in Southern California. A lasting legacy.
Okay, beyond the money, 84 was big for tech too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, a real leap forward. We saw personal computers used for results.
Seems basic now, but cutting edge then.
Totally. Electronic timers, much better drug testing with mass spectrometers, even pagers for athletes.
Pagers. That's a real blast from the past. And advanced radio for security.
They were definitely trying to embrace the future, though, not always smoothly.
Oh.
There's that funny story about the basketball venue computers. Nobody really used them.
Not used to it, I guess.
Exactly. And Jay Billis apparently got hold of the password and sent some joke messages.
Yeah.
Shows how new it all felt.
Classic. Okay, let's talk athletes. Even with the boycott, some incredible moments. Mary Lou Retton has to be top of the list.
Absolutely. First American woman to win the all-around gymnastics gold. She just captured everyone's imagination.
That smile, the power, she was everywhere.
A total star. And relatable, too. Plus, gymnastics saw rhythmic gymnastics debut.
Right. And Canada's Lori Fung won gold there, another first.
And speaking of firsts for women, the women's marathon. Joan Benoit's win was huge.
Shattering myths about endurance.
Completely. Just a powerful statement. And on the men's side, Carl Lewis was unbelievable.
4 gold medals. Just dominant.
Tied Jesse Owens' record from 36. An immense achievement.
And we have to mention China. Their first big showing at a Summer Games since, well, ages.
A massive return. 32 medals, 15 gold. It really announced their arrival as a sporting superpower.
Huge for national pride, I bet.
Immense. Then you had the drama, the women's 3,000 meters, Decker and Budd.
Oh, that collision, the image of Mary Decker falling. It's unforgettable.
So much controversy and heartbreak.
Yeah.
Even though Budd was cleared later, it just stuck, didn't it? A really tough moment.
Definitely lingers. Now, with everything going on globally, and Munich still a recent memory, security must have been intense.
Extremely. Munich changed everything for Olympic security. Before that, it was mostly left to the host city.
But that changed for LA. It sounds like Ashwini Kumar, the Indian IOC member, pushed hard.
He was key.
Yeah.
Argued the IOC needed a more central, proactive role in security, recognizing the threats were bigger now.
And they sort of tested things out at the Winter Games before LA Innsbruck?
Yeah, Innsbruck saw heightened security. Electric fences, more police. They were clearly stepping things up.
Learning as they went.
For sure. Kumar even wrote a report outlining potential threats for Sarajevo and LA, including, interestingly, domestic threats against the Soviets.
Even though they ended up boycotting. Shows the level of concern.
Absolutely. High alert.
So, with all this happening, the boycotts, the finance, the stars, the security, how did the media portray it all? The LA Times covered it heavily.
They did. Special sections, the whole works. And there was a study looking at the political angle in their coverage.
And what did it find?
Interestingly, a lot of the political talk centered on the boycott's impact, often suggesting it was politically successful for the Soviets, that it kind of discredited the games a bit.
Really? That's surprising for the hometown paper. You'd expect more rah-rah.
You would. And even more surprising, the study found much of the coverage on U.S.-Soviet relations actually came across as unfavorable to the U.S., focusing on America's, inability to stop or effectively counter the boycott, not the patriotic spin you might assume.
Fascinating. So, stepping back, what's the long-term legacy of LA 84?
Well, definitely a turning point for women's sports. Even with fewer female athletes overall, Mary Lou Retton's impact was huge.
Inspired a generation, for sure.
She became a cultural phenomenon. And maybe, just maybe, these games helped pave the way for pros in the Olympics.
How do you mean?
Well, the sheer success, the global reach, the money, it showed the massive entertainment potential. Perhaps that softened the IOC's old amateur-only stance.
Leading eventually to the Dream Team in '92. Could be.
It's a plausible link. And for LA itself, hosting 84 successfully was clearly a factor in getting the 2028 games.
Showed they could handle it, use existing venues.
Exactly. Built that legacy. And don't forget the Olympic Arts Festival.
Right. That was a big part of it, too. Culture alongside sport.
The huge logistical effort bringing international arts together left its own mark.
So when you put it all together, the boycott shadow, the groundbreaking finance, the tech, the iconic athletes, the security context, the media view.
It really was more than just sports. It was this complex, unique moment in time.
Absolutely. A convergence, like you said, that made these games truly legendary, changed how we see the Olympics.
Definitely. Still shapes them today.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much did that boycott ultimately define the narrative versus the successes? And those financial innovations, have they always been a force for good in the long run?
Good question. And those individual stories, Retton, Lewis, Decker, they still resonate so strongly. Why is that? Lots to think about.
Plenty to ponder indeed.
For sure.
Thanks for listening to Sportpen.